It's Hawks franchise. You know it, you love it. Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be trying to perform CPR and resuscitate this team because everybody's dead. Basically, Trae Young, torn MCL, Brandon Ingram, torn Achilles. Somehow they're going to be able to come back before the end of the season, which is amazing. Although 2 games for a sprained toe for Herb Jones will be tough to deal with. But we are in the dire stretches. This is going to be the worst stretch of the season. We've got a couple games until the AllStar break. That's all good. And then we've got basically the rest of the season without our 2 best players. Now, if you look at our overall ratings and you sort by rating, Jalen Johnson's our best player. I don't know about that. But he has developed extremely well, a 4.5-star player. He is in a very good contract for us, 14 mil over 4. And someone like Jeremy Grant is an acquisition we made relatively recently in the last episode, and he's going to be playing a lot of minutes for us. We have TJ McConnell, who we picked up off free agency. He's going to be starting. AJ Griffin's going to have a chance. Dalton Connect, 6-man. And we're going to be rocking these minutes for the next couple games. And then Herb Jones will probably sneak in right before the All-Star break, and then we will have to make quite the push. We are currently sitting at 33-22, so we're 11 games above 500. We take on the New York Knicks in this matchup. We're going to quick sim it up, and we beat them 107-91. TJ McConnell, 2 points, yes. 16 assists, hell yes. That's what we're talking about. So if we can manage to, again, just my goal is this. Let's be at least the 6 seed or higher, and we won't have to play a play-in game. Everybody will come back relatively healthy, and we can actually make a push for a championship because I think this team is good enough. If we look at the overall roster, we look at the overall of this team, Jalen Johnson, 4.5-star. Trae Young, same thing. Brandon Ingram, Nick Claxton, same exact thing. We have players that not only are good, not only talented, but they're not just like get the ball, score a basket, hezzy tween. No, these are like good role players. Nick Claxton, he's a 4.5-star, but he's not going to demand the ball much. He's great on defense. Jeremy Grant, he's going to be good off the bench, But Herb Jones, the reason we acquired him is because he does not need the ball in his hand in order to be an impactful player for this team. I think everyone knows their role really well. Our rookies are still developing. Our second-year players are developing as well. Now we take on the OKC Thunder. This is the last game before Herb Jones comes back, and we beat them by 2. Jalen Johnson put the team on his back. 22 points in this matchup. 2-0 without Herb Jones. Now we take on the Magic. This is the team. If you haven't been watching the series, first of all, why are you watching now? I mean, I'm happy you're here, but I'd maybe start from the beginning. But Orlando is a team with Jalen Brunson, Jalen Suggs, Franz. They have Ruzic in right now. Must be an injury, but their team is absolutely stacked. They are by far, Palo's slightly injured. They are by far one of the best teams in the NBA entirely, as they literally have the best record. Let's go ahead. Quick sim it up, please, and we lose. Okay, so 2 for 1, 2 out of 3, not bad. TJ McConnell, 13-12. And now we are here for the All-Star game. So let's go ahead and look at the All-Stars. Let's look at the teams. A lot of Orlando Magic players. That's, again, we expected to see that. And something else you don't expect to see, but is currently lacking, is all of our Hawks players. We have everybody who would be, potentially contending. I'd like to think that Trae Young putting up 27, 4, and 12 would be eligible. I'd like to think Brandon Ingram putting up 21, 6, and 5 with probably at least a steal and a block per night. Close to it. Close to it. Yeah, I mean, I would like to assume that both of those guys would be eligible for the All-Star. But hey, you know what? Injuries are a thing. They have robbed Trae Young before, and they will do it again. Look at the West now. Devin Booker, SGA, Kawhi, Joel, and Anthony Davis. Because if we look at this team, we have a 2027 first. We have a 2028 first. We have all of our normal picks all the way up into 2031. But I think that it's not a matter of this team needing to acquire more talent. Like I said, I think this team's going to fit together very nicely. It's just about reaching our full potential. And the only way we're really going to be able to do that is by simulating. Just simulating through. So we're going to go ahead and simulate maybe a chunk of games, go to about day 70, day 71. Okay, so we're back. That's fine. Donovan Clingan, welcome to the starting lineup. Got a couple upgrades for Herb Jones. His 3-pointers maxed out. We like to see that. Donovan Clingan, before he gets his big start, going to go ahead and upgrade his inside shooting, his mid-range, his playmaking, and his defensive rebounding. 12 games above 500, and we have a day off. That is great for us. We just love to see a little bit of rest. Charlotte, who usually simulating through develops pretty well, as you guys probably saw in the Charlotte Hornets rebuild. If you watch that one, as we are 10 games before Brandon Ingram comes back, 9 before Trae Young, and their whole team is pretty healthy. We are a couple games better than them. Can we beat them? We do. LaMelo Ball is good, but not good enough. And TJ McConnell, 15 assists again. He is just dominating, and Mikal Bridges is on the Nets still. And they are going absolutely nowhere. Taking on the Magic here. We are 11 games behind them. They are completely healthy. We have literally 5 games left before Trae Young is back. We lose to them again. That's going to be such a tough matchup in the playoffs if we can even get there. But somebody can now train from injury. It's going to be Trae Young. Somebody else can come back too. Continue simming. We have a full recovery from Trae Young. So just torn this or that, torn ACL, torn MCL, and he's just back at it. And we have a day off too, which means Brandon Ingram can also come back. So this right here, we are 49-32. If we look at our last 5 games, as I said, we lost to Orlando, but we beat Milwaukee, we lose to Cleveland, and then we take care of Miami and Chicago. The minutes are adjusted. It's going to be 17 minutes a night for Trae Young and Jalen Johnson, 16 for Nick Claxton and Brandon Ingram. And then this is going to be the rotation off the bench. Trying to prioritize getting all of my guards some minutes. I feel like it'd be disingenuous to not give TJ McConnell any minutes, considering he's played pretty well for us when he started. Unfortunately, all of our rookies and Bruno Fernando will not be getting any minutes. And then when we get to the playoffs, I don't know who I'm going to get rid of their minutes, because I'll probably end up running a 9-man rotation, which means 2 people are going to probably lose it. I don't actually know. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Taking on the Cavs here. Can we beat them with a fully healthy team? We do not. Okay. Trae Young's first game back, you know, a little bit of cobwebs. We have another day off. That's good. We have another day off. Is this literally the end for us? It is. Okay. So we finish with a 49-33 record. That is currently good enough for the 3rd seed in the East. So not only did we easily clear not having to play a play-in game, we were pretty dominant. Going out to the West, Minnesota, OKC, Sacramento. With RJ Hampton, there's got to be injuries. Yeah, okay. De'Aaron Fox, Keegan Murray would be starting. Risa Shea has developed extremely well, as well as Aneka Okongwu. Denver trying to get healthy, but they've got Josh Giddey, Moses Moody. Memphis with Trace Jackson Davis. They must have acquired him somehow, some way. So let's go ahead and get into the play-in. Milwaukee beats Cleveland. Any upsets you'd expect to see? I guess Brooklyn beating Toronto. This Brooklyn team is not amazing, but they have Delano Banton starting. The Cavs do, so there's a chance they could get upset. And then the Lakers, with an injured Anthony Davis and Keontae George, have a chance to upset the Dallas Mavericks. And neither of those things happen. Okay, perfect. Let's move on to the awards. Clutch Player of the Year is SGA. Blocks leader, Wemby. Steals, Donovan Mitchell. Trae Young leads the league in assists. Rebounds goes to Joel Embiid. And the scoring champion for 2026 is Devin Booker. Herb Jones wins Most Improved. I love that. 6th Man of the Year goes to Bogey. Okay. I feel like we're having a lot of impact on these awards. I feel like a lot of these players are relevant to us. Ivicic wins Rookie of the Year, putting up 4 points per game. DPOY goes to Anthony Davis. And SGA goes back to space to back again as your 2-time MVP. I'm really surprised it wasn't Jalen Brunson. I mean, 27 points, 5 rebounds, 6.6 assists, and I know he had like over 2 steals per game. Yeah, 2 steals per game and a half a block per game. That wasn't good enough with the #1 team in the entire NBA. Well, I guess they were the #1 team in the East, but Minnesota still finished higher than them. All right, it is time to take on the Charlotte Hornets in round #1. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think we should struggle against this team at all. I really have faith that we should be able to take care of business. I mean, worse things have happened, crazier things have happened, but I feel pretty confident in this first round matchup. I feel like we kind of lucked out a little bit. Trae Young finishes 27-4-12. Herb Jones 14-5-2. with almost 2 steals and a block per night. I guess the reason he went Most Improved is because last year he literally started no games and was 2 minutes per game. So he got a full rotation of minutes. Brandon Ingram, 21, 6, and 5. Jalen Johnson kind of having a bounce back year. He kind of was a little bit worse in his 2025 than he was 2024, but this year, almost 18 points per game, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, getting back to the playmaking, and he's getting back to the defensive side of things, over a block per night. Nick Claxton had a very good offensive rebound to his, 2026 campaign, 16 points per game. Rebounds were a little bit down. Assists were also about average, but scoring was well up. Jeremy Grant averaged 16.6 points per game. I guess he started a lot of games for us, started 32 with the injury to Brandon Ingram. Donovan Clingan saw a little bit less minutes, so you'd expect his stats to go down. Same with AJ Griffin, he only started a couple. And also same with Dalton Connect, who just didn't get a chance to start. He started 77 games last year. TJ McConnell did pretty well in his limited chances. And Jordan Hawkins was good. Again, just not a lot of minutes overall. And that's about it. No one else really played significant minutes. So I think that based on my calculations, based on what I've seen, it's going to be Jordan Hawkins who loses his minutes. And I really want to avoid injuries in the playoffs. I feel like giving Trae Young 36 minutes a night, it might be risky. All of our starters playing 17 minutes a night. Obviously, that's the way the playoffs work. You just use your better players. And then we are running a 9-man rotation with Jeremy Grant, Dalton Connect, Donovan Clingan, and TJ McConnell. I think we have a good split. I'm a little bit worried about Trae Young, but I think he can handle it. Game number 1 against Charlotte in Atlanta is a win. It's a dominant 18-point win. LaMelo Ball puts up good stats, but it's not enough. Trae Young goes 20 and 15. Game number 2 again here, and we win another one. It's a 6-point win. Trae Young, 35 and 11. LaMelo drops 30. And if we look at the box score overall, Brandon Ingram did not have a great game, but that's fine because everyone else made up for it. Jeremy Grant, 18 points off the bench. Let's look at the box score for game number 1 as well. I want to see who's scoring well for us. Jeremy Grant, again, absolutely cooking off the bench with 20 points. Game number 3. Now, this one's in Charlotte, so we're going to have a little bit of a tougher time, I would expect. Let's go ahead and look at our statusi. Everyone's healthy, and it looks like everyone's pretty well rested. I'm worried about Trae Young, but he's at 95%, so I think we're okay. Going on to game number 3 in Charlotte. It's a loss. We expected to lose one eventually. LaMelo Ball goes 31 and 17. And we have a series on our hands. We have a series. We are not going to be able to sweep this Hornets team as we are going to be going to game number 4 here. Let's go ahead and quick sim this one as well. And it's a 3-1 lead, and it's a dominant win here by 40 points. Brandon Ingram finally wakes up in the playoffs. 29, 8 and 8, 3 3-pointers made. And Jalen Johnson, a little bit of a nagging injury. I don't like that. But luckily, we have somebody that could fill in very nicely for him. And Jeremy Grant is waiting in the wings. He's saying, put me in, coach. So there we go. Now our lineup is looking good. Definitely brought our overall projections down quite a bit. But we've got 2 games to take care of at least 1 win. But we've got 3 chances to win 1 game. And we lose game 5 in a dramatic fashion, I'm sure. I would really prefer to not have to go to a game 7. We are in Charlotte for this one. We will go ahead and quick sim this one, and we are going to a game 7. Okay, LaMelo goes 38 and 11. That's quite unfortunate, very frustrating. I don't want to have to hop into these games. Jalen Johnson coming back, and it's going to be a game 7. I was hoping he would come back without having to play a game. I was hoping he would just be healthy, but no. Can we take care of business? I would really like that. I feel like this team is absolutely loaded. To lose this game would be a travesty. It'd be a travesty to say the least. And we are off to a decent start. We're 2 for 2 from downtown. Right now, we are currently 16 points up. And we have officially broken open the lead here of over 20-point lead. I mean, I thought we had a chance to sweep. I didn't expect to go to game 7, but you know what? Did everybody stay healthy? That's the real question. It looks like they did. So maxing out our starters wasn't a bad idea. Trae Young goes 13 points, 19 assists, and we move on to round number 2. Who's it going to be? Drum roll, please. Let's see it. It's going to be the Boston Celtics, who finished above us. Donovan Mitchell's on this team. What the fuck happened here? Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, and Drew Holiday's injured. Okay. We have a better overall points per game than them. They have De'Ron Holmes, future Nugget. Love that. Drew Holiday's out. Their bench is not great. They have like Jordan Walsh, Orlando Robinson. Who's getting minutes from them? Looks like Peyton Pritchard is. Jordan Walsh has started 3 games for them, so that's pretty sad to see. But I think overall we should be able to take advantage of their second unit. They have Davion Mitchell starting. Oh, okay. It's not Donovan Mitchell. Thank God. Okay, where is Donovan Mitchell? Is he? I don't think he's on the Cavs anymore. He is on the Cavs. Okay, he's just injured. I haven't seen his name in a while. Orlando takes care of the Cavs in 5. Philly goes to 6 and beats Indiana. We obviously went to game 7, and Boston and Milwaukee went to a game 7 as well. So we know that they're at least beatable. OKC sweeps the Rockets. Sacramento sweeps the Suns. Denver goes to 7 with Memphis, and Minnesota goes to 6 with Dallas, who almost lost a play-in game. So it's going to be Minnesota, Denver, OKC, Sacramento. Someone's got to lose a game there. We take on Boston and then Philly and Orlando. So the 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the East and the West made it. So I guess really the seeding, it proved to be correct. I think I'm gonna end the video here, guys. We're gonna get into the second round of the playoffs in the next episode. So a couple things from me. Be sure to like the video if you like Hawks franchise. I think that makes sense. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And I will see you in the next video. Take it easy.